Hey, everybody out there in TV land. This is Andrew with RBC and Gravel Pack, and we're going to be talking with Peter from Daysaver, my favorite toolkit. It's a ability to reduce a lot of weight and just have everything in the size of your hand. They got a bunch of cool products to share as well. Some announcements. We do have the anniversary ride coming up June 8th. But as always, make sure you're checking on our calendar, website, Facebook. We're always putting stuff out there, things for you guys to do and to check out. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and bring up Peter. What's up, Peter from Switzerland? How are you doing?
Hi, Andrew. Thank you for the invitation. I'm doing great. Beside the weather, it's raining, I don't know, for days, so not really perfect for riding, but well, that's life. But beside that, I'm doing really good.
Living the dream. So what is it like living out there in Switzerland for us River Cityans?
Well, Switzerland is a nice country to live. Well, it's very expensive, I have to say. But I was just recently in California, so that was also pretty expensive. So a bit, I had to revise my opinion. But still, no, Switzerland is a really great country. It's clean, it's safe. People are aware of the value of nature. And speaking of nature, you get it always in front of your door, actually. So
Mhm.
I'm living near Zurich, and with public transport or car, I'm out in the nature within 30 to 60 minutes. And yeah, it's really nice. You can do a lot of things outdoors.
Yeah, and I love like public transport in general. I just got done. Ours is, I don't think quite as good as yours out there, but I love doing bike and train. And
Mm.
so I just got back, and I'll be releasing a video on that, but I just got back from like doing a train hotel tour where you're really trying to pack everything as small as possible, as light as possible. And that was one of the cool things. It was easy to just grab my day saver and then boom, that's my full, toolkit, which is really super great. What was the origin? Because you guys got the kind of save the day thing, which I love. But what's the origin story behind your brand?
Well, the origin story is that we're always out and about, and we experienced firsthand what it's like if you have some sort of equipment that doesn't, yeah, do the job. And my co-founder Daniel, he's a tinkerer and a designer and a heavy hardcore biker, and he was always really unhappy with the multi-tools existing in the market, and so he came with the idea of our Essential 8. Well, then it was called the Original 9 idea. And I thought, well, I think I like it. So let's see what the market thinks. And we used to run a consultancy in the field of innovation consulting. And we did a lot of user-centered approach with interviews and tests, etc. And so we applied those methods to our idea, and we quickly learned that we're onto something. Then we managed to get PV Swiss on board to produce the tool, since we're not engineers. They helped us a lot, and it was also a nice story. And then, okay, we saw, okay, we have an idea, we have an actual product, but now is there anybody in the world spending money on this? And we did a Kickstarter campaign. And we were looking for 40,000 Swiss francs and ended up with 120. And we saw, okay, there seems to be a market for that. And but still, it was a side business. We just did it for the fun of it. And then it grew. We got some insights from the crowd what the next product should be, which would be the original Co-working 5, sorry. And things grew and grew, and at some point we said, okay, it's getting too big. I mean, it's nice that it's successful, but it's getting too big for just a side business. and we need to decide whether to just drop it or get all in and try to make it a serious business. And that's how we ended up now. We closed the first financing round by the end of 2022. And we shut down our agency, and Daniel and me are working full time since the beginning of 2023 for Daysaver. So that's in a nutshell the story of Daysaver.
That's awesome. I love being able to do like a grassroots Kickstarter, and be able to do that. And yeah, the Essential 8, for those of you guys that don't know, I'm going to pull that up. Their site's pretty darn cool. You can just go to tools here. And then this is the Essential line. You can see it kind of how it blows out there. Has these bunch of different pieces. So before, and I've had a bunch of different multi-tools, but especially for riding road, the weight is crazy. Take whatever tool you have at home and weigh it against their Essential 8. And mine was like 3 or 4 times heavier. And this also takes up a lot less room. So this is kind of all the Allen keys that you would need, which is kind of cool. And then it's also titanium body, right? That's part of what makes it so light and strong. Anything else you want to say about the Essential 8? It's been awesome for me.
It's not titanium. It's stainless steel,
Okay.
hardened stainless steel. But yeah, we'll come up at someday we'll come up with the titanium version. But the reason why it's so lightweight, it's because it's hollow. So that makes it lightweight. And well, the idea behind the Essential 8 is we think there's a reason why an Allen key is in every workshop, and there's actually nothing you can't screw on your bike with an Allen key. So it's a perfect form factor. You reach any screw. You have 2 different levels of torque. So that's the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
And then, okay, how can we integrate 8 tools? And we achieve that by the concept of the nested bits. So the bits in bits, and they are held by magnets, as you can see nicely here. And that's how we end up with 8 tools. And we think we are aiming for workshop quality, but to go. And that's what we think lots of competitors' products are, I mean, they are not all bad, but they have some disadvantages. Weight is one, quality is another one. Because there are aluminum components and stuff like that, and we think a tool must be made of hardened steel.
Yeah.
And that's basically the idea behind it. So pretty simple, straightforward, and I think that makes it a good product. So we took away the complexity from the consumer, the user, and found a solution. So and I think the success speaks for itself. It's a really nice tool, and as you said, it's super lightweight. It's really small too. So I think, and that's really important for every biker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the co-working 5. So when I was like switching things over, I had a full kit with like a breaker, tire levers, and all that stuff. And this is part of what made it such a drastic reduction for me, was then putting that together with the Essential 8. And for those of you guys that are watching, the first thing I did was I did the chain breaker at home, because I did not want the first time I broke a chain to be with a tool that I didn't know while I was out in the field. And it's just a really clever. So I run tubeless. Most people I know run tubeless even on their road bikes. And so having the valve core tool was really, really clever, on top of being able to do the chain breaker. I use it all the time, and I had a separate park tool just for the valve core remover that I always had on me. And this
Okay,
had
wow.
everything on there. So it was like a tiny blue one, but it was just that was its only purpose, was just doing that. And I've never used it, but I do have, that park tool had like a spoke wrench too. So it had these two pieces. And then having the chain link, because so yes, I've done this exact thing right here and it does
Mm.
work really well. And then having the chain links right here in the lever was just super clever, with the magnets. What was the thinking behind coming up with this? Obviously, you come up with the essential 8, and then you're like, wait, there's something missing. And the tire lever, like, did you guys have to go through a long process of, because that's a really good tire lever too, which kind of surprised me.
Oh yeah. Well, it was the good thing about the Kickstarter campaign is you get a lot of market research for free.
Mm,
So after our campaign for our tool, it was obvious what the market would appreciate, and it was a tire lever and chain breaker that would make a complete set, just as you described. So it was a no-brainer to develop that in terms of what is needed in the market. But then, yeah, we were quite testing because, as you said, the tire lever is difficult because it needs to be strong, but still it needs to have some flexibility to give
hmm.
the user feedback just before
Yes.
it cracks.
Yes.
And so we did lots of prototyping and testing to find the right material, reinforced fiber reinforced, and you can have like straight parts, you can have balls, you can have everything. So that was tinkering around, and that's a super high quality material we've chosen. And up to date, I don't know the exact number, how many pieces we've sold, but we had one tire lever that was sent back. It was broken because we offer a crash replacement. And so I think we did a pretty good job on that. And to give you a sneak preview, you will be happy as a tubeless rider. We will come up probably in summer with the exact same product, but for tubeless riders. So you will have a tubeless plug integrated, and it will be reverse compatible. So you will be able to use it with all the mounts and all the sleeves and cases. We knew that this is missing in the essential line. We need to have something for the tubeless riders, and we'll come up with a good solution.
Awesome. Yeah, and one thing I didn't, I guess, put on the little announcement things down below, but for those of you guys watching, like this, I wonder if they have somebody's, okay, yeah, it shows the guy's hand, right there, and like how big it is. It all magnetically fits. I also have within this guard, this little space, voided space here, I have like a spare tubeless stem that I keep in there. I
Great.
have like a little tiny Phillips that I fit in there too, and a cleat bolt, because believe it or not, that has been the most like given out tool, or thing that I've needed somebody. It's not quick link. It's not, hey, do you have, like, I've had people that did not have a cleat bolt at least 2 or 3 times on a ride at this point, and I put it in my little Daysaver guard, which has been awesome. So I guess one of those things you kind of touched on a little bit already is this incredible tool. And Joey, if you're looking out there, I know you're a bacon strip guy. They have a really cool bacon strip little shark guy here where one side is lower than the other, which I think is, again, just a really good, really smart idea that you guys did, because a lot of the bacon strips out in the market, when you poke it through, it feels like sometimes it comes right back out. But
Yeah,
having that staggered, you want to talk a little bit about the Incredible line, because it looks really awesome, and you can kind of configure it for all kinds of things, even more customizable than some of your other stuff looks like for tubeless people.
exactly. So what we've learned from the essential line, which the name says it covers the basics that you need to have with you on the ride. But we learned that a lot of people would like to have more flexibility to adjust the tools to their needs. So that's why we call the Incredible line the products that adapt to you and your bike. So for one, on the left-hand side, you see the Incredible X multi-tool. And what we did is we also pursued the Allen key form factor because, as I said, it's a perfect form factor. But with the Incredible X, the arm is foldable, so you can fold it in, and then it has like a pen shape, and that makes it possible to stow it somewhere in the bike. We'll start with a handlebar mount, not because we think that's the best place to put a tool, but if it fits there, it fits anywhere.
Right.
So we will come up with other solutions for the steerer, for the cranks, and also for on the bike. And the cool thing about the Incredible X is we don't have these nested bits like we have it for the Essential 8. We have just double-sided bits, and there is a patented interface with a magnetic split. You can take them apart. Maybe you can, in small parts, if you go to small, or yeah, maybe also in the Incredible X, you should see it here. Just with a paper clip, you can push this little magnetic thing out, and then you have two halves. And now you're free to combine whatever combination you need for your bike, because we think 8 tools are enough if you're able to configure them according to your needs, and that's possible with the Incredible X. So that's quite clever. And of course, it's a bit fiddling, but you do that at home, you do that once, and then you're ready to go. You can choose from 14 options. So the default configuration of the Incredible X is the same as the Essential 8, but then you can choose from another, I think, 6 options to adjust the tool to your needs. So that's the idea behind the Incredible X. And of course, it will open up a whole new world of tools because of the form factor. You just showed before the Co-working 7 TL. So TL is for tubeless. That's this guy here. And it has the same chain breaker as we've just saw at Co-working 5. I didn't mention there's a patented chain guidance integrated in the chain breaker and the tool itself. So that makes it easy to place the chain. And as you can see here, we have a chain plug and also an integrated blade to cut off the loose ends of the strap. And obviously you can also do a barbecue with it. And it's also very, very modular. And there's room for chain links, there's room for replacement straps, etc. And it's the same form factor as the Incredible X. And all Incredible tools that will come will have this form factor, and they will have the same interface that will go for any Incredible mount we will provide now or in the future. So you have complete flexibility. Yes, that's right. That's the handlebar mount down there. That also shows the interface. And also here, we tried to come up with a nice usability. So the problem with competitors' product in the handlebar is you need to choose. Either you have it stowed neatly and secure, or you have it quickly at hand when you need it, but you can't have both. So, and we thought, hey, it must be possible to have both, and that's why we come up with this handlebar mount. So there's a screw that you can reach from the outside. You just put it in your handlebar, just use the screw to adapt to the inner diameter of your handlebar, and then you're ready. Then you have this quick release, and you just can take the tool out or put it in really quickly, and you have it at hand immediately when you need it. So these three products are the first of the incredible line, and there will be a lot more to come. I can give you later a sneak preview of our next product.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought that was really clever because you're right. I tried one of them myself, and it's either it's really secure, hard to get to, or it's easy to get to, but that sucker can pop right
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And that has killed me a couple of times. And I was like, but that little tab where you can kind of like pull down and then it releases and then lets you pull out is really pretty cool. So you said future plans. I don't know. That's probably not accessible here um, from the site. I don't know if you're going to be able to share your screen. So what are some future plans that you were saying that you might be able to share?
Um, I think that could be a pretty nice product. No, we did some user research and interviews. We do that all the time, speaking with the crowd and see what's needed. And what we've learned is that people would like to have one package that they can grab, because many people have different bikes, just that can grab and go out and know I have everything with me I need. And obviously, what we don't cover up until now is the topic of air. And air is important for every biker.
Yes.
And we will come up with a pump that will, for one, provide space for one or two incredible units to stow it in the pump. I mean,
Mm,
that's not new. There are products out there, but now there will be available with real tools. So sorry to say that. And there will be a really nice pump head, because the problem you have, and probably you as a tubeless rider, you know that. So the best thing to pump is to screw the pump head on the valve so that you have a firm connection. But
yes.
then, if you have to screw it out,
Yeah.
chances are that you screw out the valve core, and then you're, sorry for my French, you're fucked. And we will have a pump head that can be screwed to the valve to have a firm connection, but then you can just pull it away. I can tell you more about that right now, but that's the concept. And we will come up with that solution in a Kickstarter campaign in autumn. So, and
Love
that
it.
shows how the incredible line really opens up just endless opportunities
Yeah, it's
for
kind of like a
tools and stuff.
platform that you guys are going to be building on into the future, which I love it.
Exactly.
And you're right. I've had that happen on a ride multiple times. Even when it
Mm,
has like some of them have like a release that's
mm,
supposed to like help with that pressure so that it doesn't pull the valve. I still now have just made it as a habit. Like you test, 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 and then you still have to like test it first. And it's like, nope, I need to retighten it and then try it again. Um,
mm,
and it's obviously a mess when you're already working on your bike. You're sweating,
mm.
especially here in Southern
Yeah.
California. It's always warm. We don't know what winter is over here. So, speaking of rides, what's your favorite ride? I figured I'd put that out there. I do road, mountain, gravel. What's your fancy?
I used to be a roadie because Switzerland has lots of mountains and it's nice to ride out there. But I discovered enduro riding, mountain bike riding. We have lots of hiking trails, and in some areas of Switzerland you can also bike there,
Hmm.
and that's really fun. It's more or less technical, but always fun, and you have more freedom, I'd say, than with road bikes, just because you don't need a road. So I would say both of that really is really fun. I have to admit, I never tried gravel because I doubt a bit the concept. But now I have so many friends riding gravel and say, "Oh, it's so awesome! It's so awesome!" So I will need to try it, because I think there could be a good option in Switzerland too. So yeah, but I mean, biking in general is really cool, and it doesn't really matter which kind of bike you ride. Yeah, you just need to ride.
Yeah, and I think that's the great thing, right? Is once you got the legs, you can go out for a road ride, You can go out for an enduro ride. You can go to the beach with friends, or like it's not as restricted, I think, as sometimes people think it is.
Yeah.
And for here, our dirt is kind of, you know, disappearing in general. And for me, that was the real lure for gravel is you can do road, then you do a bit of gravel, and then you pop out and do road. And so a lot of my videos are doing exactly that, where it's, you know, we're hopping here, or then hopping out of a park, um, and then back. So yeah, so any plans to visit the US? You had said you came out to Sea Otter, and that was really cool. Sea Otter, this was the first year I did Sea Otter, and I loved it. It's probably the most fun bike event I've ever been to. How was it for you guys?
It was brilliant. Well, for one, it's just beautiful, beautiful there. Really
Hmm.
nice. And I liked the atmosphere of the sea otter because yeah, it's all sort of crowd there.
Yeah.
And still, since we've been there for business mainly, so it was a good atmosphere, also B2B wise. So you could drop by every brand and talk to the guys. So it was really open and laid back. So yeah, it turned out to be a really a good event for us, and we'll for sure be back next year. Bless you.
Thank you.
um, yeah, it was fun. It was nice. We did some riding, just one day, but still. So I loved it, and Daniel too. So we'll be back.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, Sea Otter is in Monterey. It's a beautiful venue. You get to be on a racetrack, whether you're doing road or any of the other ones, because you have to go from the racetrack to the dirt events too. I did the gravel course, of course. Ended up doing like
Cool.
2 or 3 times because I was previewing it with a Gravel by California guy. Um, so it's just a cool place to come and hang out for anything bikes. I really, really liked it. Well, thanks for coming on our show, talking a little bit about how your brand started, giving us a sneak peek into the future on what's going to be on that Kickstarter. I love that idea of having a pump, everything integrated. I like that you guys have started to steer more on the tubeless side. And for those of you guys, it's going to be, I'm going to have a link for you guys, and that'll take you straight to the site. And then, of course, you can say, hey, when is, you know, the Incredible line ready, if that's something you're looking into. For a lot of the road guys, the Essential 8 and the fact that it fits in the palm of your hand and is so light, that's good to go right now, and you can order it from their website. So until next time, when in doubt, pedal it out.